Oh, is it time for morning message already? For June the 26th? So here's something that you may not know about me. I happen to be a huge fan of Cat Stevens, or as he's known today as Yusef. In fact, I can boast owning all of his records, even the ones that were there before he became kind of a folk idol. Back in the 70s, he was a teen idol before that, and then, of course, took a huge departure from the music scene, but came back with some wonderful, wonderful music and retreatments of some of his old stuff. So I do actually own all of his albums. I guess the latest ones have been compact discs. But a huge fan of Cat Stevens, and always have been and continue to be a big fan of his. Of course, probably the best known song of Cat Stevens is Morning is Broken. And he has writing credits for the version that he put out, although I always laugh because a number of years ago I had someone complain about all this old music that we sing in church and said we should sing more modern songs like Morning is Broken. The words go back 90 years. The music goes back 150 years or more. So not exactly new music, but of course the version that Cat Stevens recorded and released gave him credit. Didn't give Rick Wakeham credit. He did the piano introduction. I think the two of them later reconciled and get along fine, but I think there was some problems at the time because Rick Wakeham didn't get any credit for the recreation of that particular song. And it's a great song. It's, of course, it originated as a hymn in the church, and my understanding is, and I have a vague memory of hearing Cat Stevens interviewed about this, that it was actually a song that was sung in the mornings in his school when he was growing up. So that's how he became familiar with the tune. I want to just talk briefly today about one of the lines in that particular song, God's recreation of the new day. And you'll have some choir directors telling their choirs to say God's recreation of the new day. So that's what I want to talk about, the difference between those two words, recreation and recreation. The idea comes from, recreation as being anything that feeds the body or soul. So taking a break to have a meal is something that refreshes the body. Taking a break to have a rest can also refresh the body and refreshen the soul. And by extension, those kinds of activities could have been to tossing horseshoes or log rolling. If that's the only thing you have to do to recreate yourself when you're out in the middle of the woods cutting down trees, then that's what you do. These are the kinds of things that recreate us. So there's actually a really strong connection between the idea of recreation and recreation, so much so that I don't really care what a choir director tells me. I'll sing whatever word they want me to, because I think those two words are really so closely related. And it's really important, I think, for us to have an appreciation for that whole idea of it really being our joy, it really being something that recreates us when we're involved in the recreation of whatever activity that it is we're doing, whether it's being co-creators with God to recreate our world so that it is more in line with what God would have us to be, a loving and merciful creation, or recreation. Or whether it's those activities that we get involved in that bring us joy, that relaxes us, that feeds us in physical ways, in mental ways, in spiritual ways, things that recreate us so that we're able to be the people that God would have us be, to be loving and merciful people as well. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to praise with elation, praise every morning God's recreation, God's recreation of the new day. I think for me, and I've often said that, our worship, our celebration of worship should feel like a celebration, and when it doesn't, we should ask questions about that. So when we think about the connection between recreation and recreation, our worship should feel like recreation as well. It should be something we look forward to, and that builds us, that feeds us, that nourishes us, body and soul. God bless. Amen.